Well, again, welcome to this temple. We are here to pray. We're here to energize and spiritualize our lives. So this morning we see the sun coming out, peeking out nicely. Let us pay adorations to Surya Narayan, okay? Om Bhara Bhava Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhava Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Yes, how beautiful it is. This nature. Nature is always something that gives us the peace of mind. The fountain is there yonder and making that noise, and our Mother Earth standing her, she's so beautiful. The trees, look in front of us, the trees at the side. I like this scenery, isn't it beautiful? Anyway, this morning, imagine the sun is coming 93 million miles away. And it's coming with such force that it has to be, the mechanism is there by creation, consciousness, that when it gets closer to Earth atmosphere, there's an ozone layer that is going to soften it up for us. Because if it comes full force without, it's like a car with a brake, it has to come slow. So the rays are stopped by the ozone layer. And then we get that feeling of peacefulness, not too hot, just right. That's the engineering of creation. But if that ozone layer is depleted, then what happens? We got global warming. And global warming is a very serious thing that we have to take in mind. And one of the things that depletes the ozone layer is methane gas. And methane gas is coming from the animals, especially from the animals. So if methane gas goes up, it's going to cause holes, and especially in the North Pole, there's so many holes that are being caused by this methane gas. So we have to be very cautious, and talks are always there to get rid of the four-legged animals, especially cattle. Because cattle is one of the biggest source for depletion is the ozone layer. And there's discussion in the world and in America also about this. So this morning, let us chant a little Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Isn't that feels good that we're in a temple and we're ready to put ourselves at peace, divine peace? Well, this morning I want to talk about one Gita sloka. It's coming from chapter 3, verse 9, I think. Yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana taratam karma kauntiya mukta sangha samachara. Let's try it again. Yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana taratam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Hey Arjuna, all of us, We're driven to perform actions, not actions that are necessary for the welfare of others, but maybe selfish actions. But Arjuna, think seriously that do actions, perform actions for the welfare of others, sacrifice for the welfare of others. This is called yajna. And today it's so important that we should keep this in mind, that whatever we think, say and do, that we are performing yajna. You know, the real explanation for this is that there are three kinds of people, or three characteristics that all of us have. Some is more dominant of these three. And the three are competition, cooperation, and self-dedication. And this is the true explanation of this sloka. So what it means that we can choose to live our lives with cruel competition. Meaning that we think of ourselves. Cruel competition is the animalistic level, is on the physical level. That we see the animals, how they are fighting for themselves. The bears will protect their territory, and anybody comes in there, they'll be destroying them, okay? So then, we don't want to be like the animals on the physical plane, do we? We want to go higher than that. So if we think like we want to do welfare for the rest of the world, then what we'll do, we'll look out for the rest of the world. Now, in our political system, this is also that animalistic behavior of cruel competition that we see in America, that how the elections are coming up and President Trump is there. But it's so strange that his first job as a politician was the President of the United States of America. This is why I'm saying that, because there's a divine will at play. And then we have our own Kamala Harris. She's of Indian descent, African, and she was totally exposed much more so with the African community. So she's identified as an African person, and she's married to a white person. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because this is a divine play that is playing out now, because the real two persons in America is President Trump and Kamala Harris. Vice President Joe Biden, he's there, but it seems like everybody's pointing to the direction that if Kamala Harris and that Democrats would win, then what will happen? She will automatically, if one day, become the President of America. So that conversation is going on. So this is, but should it be like she's a seasoned politician and she's for power, or is there's some divine feeling in her that she's being governed by God and the Christ or Krishna? If this is the case, that she's governed by that, then there's that divine play, and she has a better chance to become the President of America. But these are thoughts that when we say yagyartat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadatam karma kauntiya mukta sangha samachara, that God, this divine power, is in play with everyone, each individual, including the politics and the cruel competition. But we'll come out of that if everyone was look for the welfare of others, we go on the mental plane, meaning social life, looking out for the world. Now, Bharat SEVASHRAM Swami Parameshananda, let us bring in the Guru here right now. Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Param, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Oh, Swami Parameshananda, great the manifestation of consciousness, Lord Shiva, descendant of Lord Shiva. And he came as God, sustained his whole sojourn as a human body. Total 100% was consciousness, and he he by his choice, he gave up his body when he established the ashram. Why the ashram? Because of the social level, to bring everybody on the mental level so that we look out for the welfare of others, monks and disciples, and all religions, Christianity, Buddhism, they're doing fantastic work. And other organizations, Hindu organizations, Ramakrishna Mission, Sri Chinman Mission, and Sri Aurobindo, all of these great souls, they're doing fantastic social work, uniting people. And Bharat SEVASHRAM saying is that I have the opportunity to serve all over the world. That yesterday we were making arrangements to send money to Nepal because there's struggle. There's a shutdown there. I'm sending money to Assam for the welfare of students. 900 of them, they were sent home and they're struggling for food. So we want to take care of the children, although they're not coming to the school. So this is the work of bringing together all these people, all these children, all the sick and the needy. And then when you do that, this is working for the welfare of for God, you in cooperation with God, because of the mental and intellectual plane. What happens then? When you do that, God's effort, human effort, warrants God's grace. And when we have God's grace and human effort, then we lift ourselves to the self-dedication or spiritual level. And this is the evolution from the lower competition, then cooperation, and then lift you up to the enlightened leadership. This morning, this is my message to you, that in your life, we all have some of the competition, we have some of the cooperation, but let us make the shift from competition and animalistic behavior into cooperation, the humanistic behavior. Humans are gregarious by nature. Let us bring out our humanity in us and let us serve the world, and you'll see there's transformation. And then Swami Parameshananda would have said, what is the goal of life? Self-realization, universal emancipation. Try your best to spiritualize yourself. Look and do yoga and meditation, so this way you can lift yourself up to that place of consciousness where you become a conscious observer, and then you look at creation. You know, Hubble telescope looked at the world, at the universe, far away from Earth, and when it looked, the Earth is looked like a dot, a blue dot. This is our planet, so infinite, so small it is. No, we should expand and think that we are beyond the manifestation, all the universe, and lift ourselves to consciousness. This is what we ought to be doing. And then when we do that, we'll be giving up our pleasures. Pleasures is something that you get and then afterwards you suffer, because there's the opposite, happiness and sorrow, pleasure and pain. No, we want to go to bliss. Bliss means that when you have that divine power, then you always in that state of happiness. You are in one with God. You become consciousness. So let us do the prayer this morning. Oh Lord, let me discover, give me the power and the wisdom to rediscover that I'm just like you. I'm consciousness. I have all the material cause and the efficient cause. I have the 5 elements in me, the 5 deities, and I also have consciousness, the God without name and form. So let us all do a little meditation. Why don't we sit down peacefully and let us do some meditation. Let us worship Lord Shiva. Why don't we close our eyes and get into a nice position, and then let us do meditation. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 Silently, let us chant mantra. You chant it. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 Keep chanting. Om Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Continue on meditation. Don't give it up.